to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, where titles are won, legends are made, and fields are named after them. Saban Field at Bryant-Denny Stadium, home of the Alabama Crimson Tide. We've got a sensational matchup for you. Fans have been filing in and getting ready for this game, as we'll see a squad from Conference USA, the Delaware Blue Hens, taking on a team from the SEC, the Alabama Crimson Tide. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by a couple of legends, and yes, we do use that term loosely. David Pollack from the University of Georgia and former Gator Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's get down to the field. This thing started and opened the season. Coming out with it, it's Hampton. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Looking to throw, it's Russell. Going for a big play right off the bat. He's got it inside the 30. And I wasn't sure they were going to be able to catch him. They finally did, but they gave up a huge play. They just flipped the entire field, and now they'll try to cash in on 1st and 10 from the 20. Looking for a gap. It's Young. There he goes. They get him down to this offensive setup, 1st and goal from the 9.
Things looking really good for this offense on their first drive of the game. They've been able to get it done a lot of ways. An explosive play there in the running game. Great vision. He's able to break out, and he sets his offense up in 1st and goal.
Alabama comes to the line with a 1st and goal. He'll do it himself. He fought him off for a while, but that's what they mean by gang tackling.
Phenomenal job by the defense that time, shutting down the option play. They knew they were going to see this in this game, and all week long in practice, they really focused on this assignment football, making sure the dive, the quarterback, the pitch, all taken away. Nope.
Into the house. Touchdown, Bama! They're on the board first here in the season opener.
What an exciting way to start this season. This offense had a plan. They knew who they wanted to be, but you had to come out and execute it. And that was a beautiful first drive, creating some momentum, not only for this offense, but for this squad to start the season.
The kickoff bounces through the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 25. This crowd going to try to make life miserable for these guys. Looking for a physical attack from the gun. Pass the sticks and still on his feet. Out to the 36-yard line after gaining 10 on that one.
And, you know, big chunks like this don't happen unless you commit to the run game. You got to get those big boys up front into the game, understanding I want to knock people off the football, create some holes like you do here for my running back, make the game easy.
And how about that? What the doctor always ordered, an explosive play to the 40.
And busting big runs like this, we always talk about the running backs, but it's the big boys up front, paving their lanes, those receivers gluing on those DBs that make these plays really go for big yardage.
And how about those receivers? Not just the glamour of catching passes, but doing some dirty work, too.
No doubt. When they get on those guys in the second level and get on those DBs, that's when you break those big, long runs.
Out of the gun, the running back has it. Stopped just inside the 30 at the 29. It's a 10-yard pickup and a 1st down.
Wow. 4 plays on this drive by the offense. They already got 3 first downs. We knew they had a lot of playmakers coming into this game, and they're showing that right now. This defense is going to have to make a play at some point here and stop the bleeding.
Can't make the grab. Quarterback just missed him a little bit. Guys, let's take a second here and talk Delaware. One of the big storylines coming into this year was the rising temperature of the coach's seat, and the process of cooling things off starts now.
All offseason, this coach has said the right things. I'm not worried about it. I'm not focused on it. I'm just worried about our team today, but let's be real. He's got to win games. There is an expectation out of this program to win, and if he doesn't start fast this year, that hot seat's only going to get hot.
No, and then the chirping starts, and everybody's going to be talking about his job. The pressure builds, and then what happens? Sometimes you lose the locker room, so important to get off to a good start. Try to quiet some of the...
And he waltzes in for the score. Touchdown, Blue Hens! A long run from the running back, not exactly setting any land speed records, but he got the job done.
It was a long run that took a long time because he's not the fastest guy in the world. But it doesn't matter, right? Get that nose for the end zone, get in the goal line. That's all that matters. That's all we're keeping score. That 6 counts for just as much as all those fast guys that get there in a hurry.
The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Here comes that Alabama offense. They stuck the last drive in the end zone. They'll try to follow suit here. Back in motion, try to clear the picture. Caught over the middle. It's Meadows. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker. Let's talk about Alabama. The good news about starting the season outside the top 25, not a lot of lofty expectations. You can sneak up on a few teams, but sooner or later, you're going to want to get that attention and get into those rankings.
A lot more, but it's not impossible. In recent years, you saw it with Indiana coming out of absolutely nowhere. You saw it back in the day with USF. You've seen it with Rutgers. Like, in the past, you can do it. You can put it together, gain some momentum, but it starts with this game right here.
TCU reached the national championship game a few years back, and no one expected much of them that season either, so you never know. What's important is what people believe inside your own locker room. This team thinks they can do some really special things this year, and they get a chance to start strong here in week 1.
Looks as if the Tide will punt it away. This will be their first punt of the afternoon. Tries to find a little more running room on that return, but he'll be stopped at the 36. Guys, the Delaware offense going back to work. They tied it with a touchdown the last time they had it and trying to complement the defense's good work by taking the lead here. Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on second down. They'll throw again after the incompletion. Almost the D-lineman's dream, but he couldn't hang on. It'll be third down. Guys, let's chat for just a moment about Delaware. At some point, with all of the transfer portal talk and guys going in and out, you can score one for continuity with this ball club, can't you, David?
That means your system and your culture is working, because these guys so often are just...
Turning it on! Inside the 35, knocked out of bounds. This offense with a big play, and they'll mark it at the 33.
And right there you're seeing why a lot of guys like to call draws and screens when it's third and long. The defense is thinking you're taking a shot deep down the field, but if you spin it out quickly to a wide receiver in the perimeter and you find a few blocks, he gets a crease, then he takes off with the speed, and you still find a way to not just get the first down, but generate an explosive play.
Defense is about firing off, hitting the offensive guys, and staying in your gaps. Everybody knowing where they're supposed to be. You could tell the defense, everyone was right where they're supposed to be, nowhere to run.
They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. The run from the shotgun. He was looking for some place to put his foot in the ground, but the defense was everywhere, and he's knocked down behind the line.
That's a fantastic play by the linebacker. He has such tremendous instincts. As soon as he sees run, he's coming downhill. He's got great speed. He gets you on the ground. That's why he's one of the best linebackers in the entire country.
Incomplete. He had to get rid of it before he wanted to. The defense put the heat on. And it looks as if they're going to try a field goal. This whole place is going to see if this kicker can operate in the sea of noise. And it's no good. And after the missed field goal, guys, we are still locked up.
And sometimes I just feel like fourth down, man. Just go for it every time. Like the field goal, miss, make, rate. And listen, kickers have improved the last couple of years, but you left some points off the scoreboard there.
Here comes the option. Not much working there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Playing the option, man. Consistently playing responsibility football. Nice job by the defense being where they're supposed to be. This option will just keep giving it to you over and over and over again, and you got to pass those tests.
Looking for a crease. It's Young. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
They're trying to run the football. There's just nowhere to go for the ball carrier inside. He tried to bounce it to the outside. That linebacker way too fast. He met him there and forced the TFL.
The Crimson Tide looking for a big play to convert on 3rd down. Looking for a man. It's Russell. Right down the middle. Interception. You don't see him make that kind of mistake very often. Takes it the other way.
QBs have to understand, when I'm throwing against zones, I got to manipulate guys with my eyes. I might have to look one direction to create an opening to throw that ball or zip that ball in. I got to use touch. It's really hard when all eyes are on me, and you could tell the quarterback was not ready and did not make a good throw.
Stopped at the 13-yard line as they try to turn this into points.
It's a veteran defense. They've seen option before. They were prepared to see it in this game, and you're seeing it on that play right there. Everybody doing a great job with assignment football, staying in their gaps, accounting for anyone who can have the football. They were ready for the pitch guy that time. They're able to make a quick stop.
Quick strike complete. Touchdown, Blue Hens! Made the grab and took it on in for the score. The offense did exactly what it needed to do, getting the ball in field position like that.
It's that killer mentality. You step on their throat, you keep your foot down. When you get opportunities like that, they are golden chances to put touchdowns on the board. The offense took care of business.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Guys, here comes that Alabama offense onto the field. This feels like one of those games you might have to answer every score. Already down 14-7. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
All right, if you're a quarterback in that situation, you know there's nowhere to go, so just
cut your losses.
You're right, absolutely. Slide, don't take the extra punishment. You just give up on the play.
Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
It's just so nice to have a QB under center. Nowadays in football, you can trust these guys. You put so much on their plate, and you tell them, go get positive yards when it's there. And a lot of these guys are such great athletes, they do it with ease.
Alabama with a lot of ground to cover here on 3rd and long. Dropping back, it's Russell. Flushed out of the pocket. He'll pull it down. Good, solid pickup on that one. They've got it out to the 40, and it's 1st down.
And I love the change in decision-making, right? That was a much better job. Last possession, tried to force it in there, threw the interception. This possession, it's not there. Take off and scramble. Great job. You got enough athletic ability to do that. Big 3rd down conversion by this offense.
Well, this defense knew coming in they were going to see some RPO and they were going to see some quick game. And nice job there taking the throw away from the quarterback.
They're dealing with a 2nd and long. From the gun, the running back tries to hit the hole.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They'll get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
The Crimson Tide looking for a big play to convert on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. And they can't make the play on 3rd down.
So after that incompletion, 4th down, you've got to hold serve if you're this offense, right? Both offenses up and down the field. The opponent scored twice. You scored a touchdown on your first drive. I think you got to go for it here because right now nobody's playing defense. And this game very easily could come down to which team has the ball last.
They'll snap it from the 20 for the opening play of this drive. The give out of the gun. They knock him down after a gain of 3 to the 23. We've come to the end of the period. It's Delaware holding the lead. We've put one in the books. Let's have a look at our game summary. Lots of time left, and we're ready to get back to it and open the 2nd period. Play action. And that pass will be jarred loose on 2nd down. That brings up 3rd down.
Well, that's just a great play by the defender and great timing. It was the hit that forced that incompletion.
The Tide crowd rolling noise down onto Saban Field on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. And they'll miss the connection here on 3rd down. And the Blue Hens will punt this one away. Makes the catch at the 35. This guy is a daring punt return man. He's not going to settle for the fair catch. A solid return. Gets a little bit of ground for the offense. The Tide offense rolls onto the field. That last drive won't go on the highlight reel after ending in a punt. They'd like to be more productive this time, David.
And I think this offense has to be a little bit more balanced. Find a little balance between the run, Jesse, and working in that pass.
And I think, too, David, it's just going to take a spark. It just takes one play to get this thing picked up and going.
He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a 1st down. The transition of Alabama quarterbacks over the years has been fascinating, from the dreaded game manager label to playmaker.
To playmaker, to spread it out, to Heisman winner. I mean, that's how much this offense has changed and evolved, and they're going to be aggressive, and they're going.
Ball's out behind the line. Defense swarming on that loose ball. It'll be a turnover.
And the defense did everything right against that option play. They got to the quarterback. They forced him to keep it. Not only do they create the fumble, but they jump on it behind the line of scrimmage. That is just perfect option defense.
And now the Blue Hen offense onto the field. They didn't get much done the last time they had it. Had to punt it away from deep in their own territory, hoping this drive will be more productive.
Man, a nice second effort by the back to break a tackle. But how about those defensive backs willing to come up, stick their face in the fan, and make a tackle?
Those are the best run defenses, too, right? It's not just D linemen and linebackers getting all the plays, but it's DBs that are willing to not just cover, but tackle backs in the open field.
And if I'm the running back, I'm going to listen. Can you give me something? Can you give me some space to try to make somebody miss and not have another guy right next to me? I'm giving the offensive line an earful. I need some holes, need some space up front. They got to do a better job.
Decibels rising as the crowd gets behind this defense on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. And the 3rd down pass is incomplete.
You know, it's funny. That's probably the most discombobulated the offense has looked so far in this game, right? After watching that incompletion there on third down, they were just up and down the field earlier. Tremendous rhythm, tremendous balance. Everything their play caller was dialing up was working, lighting up the scoreboard. And all of a sudden on this last drive, just not able to piece it together. They've got to be able to turn the page and get back to how they looked earlier in the game.
Here comes that Alabama offense. When you're playing from behind, you can't afford to give it up the way they did the last drive, didn't they? Oh, it's a fumble. Sometimes the ball just bounces your way, and the offense very lucky to keep possession on that one. I don't know if it was luck or aggression or just a fortuitous bounce, but at least they've got the ball back.
Well, one thing I do know, Reese, this running back has got to do a better job with ball security. You cannot turn the football over and expect to win this game. They're very lucky they were able to jump on top of that.
In football, you hear the term quick, but don't hurry. And you can tell when you run these RPOs, the QBs want to make that decision quick. And I think he hurried it a little bit too much, got the ball out quick, but obviously was inaccurate with his pass.
Alabama comes to the line on third and short.
Here we go.
Quarterback making checks. Back to throw, it's Russell. Grab near the marker, it's Coleman. He moves the chains and they'll mark the ball at the 33. Third down, a lot of times it comes down to not necessarily who's the most open, who do you trust the most?
No, it's not about the X's and the O's. It's about the Jimmys and the Joes. And when my guy's better than you and I get you matched up out wide and I know I trust you, I'm finding you.
And that's a very productive first down play and bringing up 2nd and 3.
These RPO runs, they're like body blows. I like them because it just sort of chips away at a defense. You'll take these kind of games all game long. You keep running the football this way, you're going to keep moving the sticks. You're going to keep driving this defense back, so keep at it.
They can't corral the pitch. The ball's on the ground. The offense very fortunate to get that ball back.
Woo. Deep breath, right? Man, you fumble that thing, you cough it up, you're like, oh, I really appreciate you, brother. I can't tell you how much I thank you because the coaches would have been all over me, but big-time break for the offense.
Alabama with a lot of ground to cover here on third and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Throws for the tight end. And he dropped it, just didn't look the thing all the way in.
Well, they're trying to get the big fella the football in the passing game, but they haven't been able to do that yet. He is a really nice target with his size and his athleticism, but him and the QB, they just don't seem to be on the same page right now.
Fields to punt and try to pick up some yards.
The return is tackled down at the 29, and the offense will take over.
Guys, the Blue Hen offense going to work. Here's another opportunity, Jesse, to stretch out this lead after punting last time.
I think it goes back to your playmate.
Oh, he's got some space. And the explosive play, and they're on the move all the way to the 44. He's piled up 82 yards on the ground, and he wanted to make a first impression, and he's doing that in this opening game. The Blue Hens come to the line after ripping off that huge gain on the ground, trying to keep it going. To the air on first down. Punts it out of the air. A most efficient pickup of 6 on first down. It's 2nd and 4.
Now, you've seen the evolution of these slot receivers. They're just matchup nightmares. They're hard to get your hand on. A lot of times, they're off the football. You can't jam them. These guys are so productive, and offenses really feature their best players most time in those slot positions.
A veritable crimson tide of noise on Saban Field here on third down. They'll try to get the first through the air. They'll throw it to the back on the screen. And it's pretty obvious there was a big hole in that screen, and the defense ran right through it. And the Blue Hens send out the punt unit. No return possible on this one. It goes out of bounds, and they'll mark it right around the 30-yard line. guys, here comes that Alabama offense onto the field. That last drive fizzled out, Jesse. They had to punt it.
Yeah, they did. And David, they're just
trying to beat the D deep. He's got it up to 30. A giant chunk of yardage picked up there, and they're down to the 24.
That's what's so scary about this offense. They've got guys in the perimeter that can change the game in one single play, and you saw it right there. Too much speed on the perimeter to create that explosive play.
It's one thing to get that huge play. Now you got to cash it in with breaks into the open. Tough run, gets it into the red zone, and they knock him down at the 17.
Just really solid play by this offense. Nice job. Whenever the defense gives you the option, they're trying to make you wrong. The problem is, defensively, you got so much to cover. Nice chunk gain. Just remember, that quarterback can also stick his foot in the ground, get more.
Got some room, headed to the goal line. And he's loose, and he'll take it to the house. Touchdown time.
And I like this offense not panicking, executing on this drive, and driving down the field and tying this football game up. I love the no panic, just stay chill, and now we got ourselves a football game.
And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Dynamite matchup this week, fellas. Let's show you what's going down. Texas A&M is darn near perfect offensively today. This is almost exactly the way they drew things up in practice this week. They're up by 20 over Texas State. Any big developments in this one, we've got you covered with the best studio team in the business, gentlemen.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. This defensive front just ran free in the backfield. He'll lose 3.
I mean, you just can't teach and coach big D tackles to be that quick. I mean, he shot right out of his stance, beat the offensive lineman, and he was in the backfield before the O-line even knew it.
And it's incomplete, but there's a flag in the backfield. Let's see who the call's on. That offensive line grabbing and holding on, and they'll back up and try it again. Offense gets set for second down. Red pass, it's complete. Knocked off his feet.
I tell you, this slot receiver, he really does give his quarterback a nice option. Runs really good routes. He's got nice hands. We saw it on that last play.
Here comes this home crowd as the defense tries to get off the field. There he goes. That defense got gashed, but they finally get him to the turf at the 47.
I know it's early in the game, but defensively after that play, you know you have to tackle the catch. When this guy gets the ball in his hands, he is so dangerous after the fact. So it's okay for him to make catches. You just got to get him to the ground quickly.
The Blue Hens will snap it on 1st and 10. Toss sweep to the right. We'll give him a couple on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up.
That's a really good job by the defense, wrapping them up, getting them on the ground, take away that run game, make them one-dimensional, put them in passing situations. Really good job by the defense.
Wants to go up top. Makes the grab. He works his way inside the 30 down to the 29 and picks up a 1st down.
And that's why this guy is such a weapon in this offense, because you don't have to throw it far downfield. Just get the ball in his hands. He catches it close to the line of scrimmage, but look what he was able to do after the catch. He gets an explosive play for this offense.
Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. After a good pickup on the run, it's 2nd down. Out of the gun to give to the back. And he never had a chance, just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
Well, they're just trying to run the ball, but that time there was absolutely nowhere for the running back to go, and as a result, that's a tackle for loss.
On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Flips it out to the back. They stop him well short of the marker. It's 4th down from the 27. Looks as if they'll send out the field goal unit. This crowd trying to do its part to get inside the kicker's head. The offense uses a timeout to stop the clock, and they'll get a quick breather. And the Blue Hens will go for it here on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Finds him out of the backfield. They stop him short of the marker, and they'll turn it over on downs.
Love the coverage on defense there. 4th down. They're ready for the pass. You saw in the back end, great job being in position to make that play. And now their offense is coming on the field.
To the air, it's Russell. He'll try to do it himself. And a nice pickup on the line and gets down to avoid contact. They created a lot of breathing room with that first play of the drive. Now 1st down from the 39. Now adjusting. Bought a little time, lets it go. And he just overshot his man and threw it out of bounds, incomplete.
And listen, as a quarterback, you're trying to find the matchup, trying to find who's open. I don't know if anybody was open, but that was not a greatly thrown football. I don't know if it was miscommunication, but the ball thrown out of bounds and just on to the next down.
Pocket breaking down. Makes him talk to the hand.
Well, it's no wonder this quarterback is getting more and more confident. Not necessarily throwing it, but I think running it. You saw that earlier in this drive, too. On that last play, he's thinking to himself, man, it's been working for me so far. Every time I just tuck it, take off scrambling, something good seems to happen. So that's not going to stop. And I think moving forward, this defense has got to expect him to scramble more often.
Snap from the gun on 3rd down. He'll take the deep shot. And they can't hook up on the big play, and that brings up a 4th down.
This is going to be a tough situation for the offense. You're late in the first half. They're trying to find a way to generate some points before going into the locker room, but the defense is ready for it. So the windows are not going to be very big, especially when you're trying to attack vertically like they did on that last one. Downfield completions are going to be tough to come by.
One more snap coming before halftime. They'll run the RPO and throw it right. He'll be brought down, and that's the final play of the half. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update. Ready to start the second half. Alabama will kick it off. Here he comes from inside his own 5. He had visions of glory on that return, but he'll step out of bounds at the 29. Okay, guys, here comes the Delaware offense onto the field. First drive of the second half, always fun to watch. You see what type of tweaks were made at the half, especially when you're locked up in a ball game like this one.
Yeah, and it's been a good game. I mean, it's been a little bit of back and forth and a feeling out process. And now once you get in the second half, who's going to get aggressive, Paul? Who's going to take some shots, try to make some plays, and really go for it?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think as play callers right now, you learn a lot about these coaching staffs with respect to who does make the best adjustments. There's a lot of coaches that believe we're just going to be who we are. We're going to keep doing what we do. We're just going to do it better. But then there are others that tweak things a little bit on offense and on defense. We're going to find out here.
The Tide crowd rolling noise down onto Saban Field on 3rd down. It's caught. Turning it on. They make the stop, but the sweet throw and catch is plenty to give them a first down. The Blue Hens come to the line with a new set of downs. They've done a really good job identifying mismatches, and they find one out of the backfield there.
Reese, I really don't think it's that hard. My guy is better than yours. Find the matchup across the field. Running back's got some speed. Get it in his hands quickly. Throw it to him fast. Let him make somebody miss against a slower guy that's usually a linebacker.
Just feeds the running back. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. And a lot of times we don't focus on it enough. How important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
He's going to lose a yard on that one.
Yeah, that's a really good job by the defense, because when you get in that 3rd and medium area, listen, you got to be worried about the run and the pass. Did a good job playing both, got it stopped, now forcing a 4th down.
He'll field the punt and try to make a big play. smashes through the tackle. Very little will make a crowd hold its breath like a punt return, and he brought them to their feet on that one. The Tide offense rolls onto the field. Another opportunity here. They had to punt it on their last possession, but this time tight game, hoping to get something on the board. Out of the crowd, and now he's got room. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
It's so hard for a defense to have to stop plays like that because it really forces you to play with great eye discipline. You see the pre-snap motion. Defense doesn't know if he's just running across the field and he's going to run a route, if he's going to block, or if he has the football. That time, he was able to outflank the defense and hurt them to get that first down.
They've got the defense reeling right now with that big play to the 29.
It's hard to run a route or get lost near the sidelines and understand exactly where you're at. Nice job understanding I was starting to get close to the sidelines, throttling down a little bit, catching the football and making sure I was in bounds.
Able to pick his way forward for a decent game before the defense gets him down.
And you're seeing his dynamic ability to run the football that time on the option play. I know he doesn't pick up the first down, but that's still a good chunk of yardage, and the defense wasn't ready for it. Moving forward, expect the offense to go back to the option play again and see if someone will finally take the quarterback and force him to pitch it.
You know, as a defense, you kind of want to force the give on the RPO. You want them to run the football, and you can tell maybe the quarterback wishes he pulled this. Small gain, but some information you gathered maybe for the next time you get to run an RPO.
The Crimson Tide a few inches away from converting on third down. Motion from the back. Trying to pick it up on the ground. Got some room, headed to the goal line. Touchdown, Crimson Tide. And that one will put them up here in the second half. Precision blocking up front created the open lane, and the running back followed it beautifully.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to follow an offensive line that makes those holes and just gives you a caravan all the way to the end zone. What an unbelievable job blocking up front.
And there will be no return on this one as the ball bounds into the end zone. Guys, the Delaware offense going back to work. They'll try to answer that last score with one of their own. A chance here to tie the game with a touchdown drive. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. Not what they had in mind to start this drive. Here comes 2nd and 13. Send the tight end in motion. Wants to fire on 2nd down. They'll run the screen. And that one looked great on the grease board, but when they blow it up like that, the defense is going to win every time.
Yeah, those screen passes, I want those defensive linemen to run right up the field, and I want to throw it right over their head where I got some space and I can get my running back going. That is the opposite of what happened right there. There was no space. He couldn't even get going.
He's going to come up a couple of yards short of the first down.
One of the things I love about this defense is they just have such great awareness, and they're always communicating. They understood the down and distance. They knew exactly what they needed to do to make the tackle to force the punt. That is so well done.
Wants to return it. Everybody stays in their lanes well enough, and they stop him at the 31-yard line. Here comes that Alabama offense. How about the way they attacked the last time they had the ball, mixing run and pass and winding up in the end zone, Jesse?
That's why recruiting is so important. They've got...
Oh, he's got some space. And he'll finish the run at the end zone. Touchdown, Alabama!
And to have a rushing touchdown of that type of yardage, you've got to be able to make something miss. It's one thing to get into the second level, but can you make that last defender miss? And you saw it on that play. Once he was in the clear with his speed, he was gone.
On the move from inside his 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. when the pressure can ramp up a little bit on an offense, David, when they start feeling the heat to answer a score.
And I think being down 14, you can kind of feel that way. But, dude, if you put a good drive together, this is a 7-point game, so Palmer, no need to panic.
I was just going to say, David, I mean, this thing can flip quick. You go down, score, all of a sudden your defense gets a stop, or who knows, better yet, gets a turnover. This game is entirely different.
He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
I don't think the quarterback made the right read on that play. I know they're asking a lot of his QBs, got a lot to focus on with the pass game and all the different types of runs that they have in their playbook. But on that play there, that pre-snap look told me to hand it off.
And the Blue Hens line up to punt it away. They're up to a half dozen kicks today. That is not exactly how they drew it up, as the ball will be marked dead at the 40. Guys, here comes that Alabama offense onto the field. This has been exactly the way you draw things up, David. The offense has really been moving the football.
And it's been great execution. They've done exactly what they wanted to do. Build the lead. Now Palmer's a different animal. Now you got to protect him.
You can tell they were paying attention in practice this week in the film room because they have gone out, everybody right now on the same page.
Just what this offense was looking for. Sets him up at the 26 with the first down. Give him 96 yards rushing, and he has busted the century mark in this season opener. Ball marked at the 26. It's 1st and 10. And his first throw here is incomplete.
This defense has a lot of speed, especially in the secondary, and you saw that speed. That defender got to that receiver so quick, and because of the hit, incomplete pass.
Working well behind the sticks on 2nd down. Taylor wants to throw. Can't quite make the connection there. Might have let him a little too much.
Yeah, and I don't know what happened. He didn't look open as it is, and the QB's trying to make a play, trying to force the ball, but at least he threw it where his guy could catch it or nobody could catch it.
Makes the catch. It's Coleman. And the first guy couldn't get him, but the second one does, but not until he picks up the first down.
When you're a playmaker like this guy is, your coaches are going to dial up plays intended for you, especially on 3rd down. That's what you saw in that last play. There was no question where the quarterback was going with that football. All week long, they decided on the biggest downs of this game, we're going to target our best player, and we're going to make sure that he gets looks. It doesn't matter what the coverage is. You saw it right there on that play.
Going to work on 2nd down in the red zone. Is still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. Got his man. They get it down to the 7 on that pass play in prime position for a score.
These 3rd downs are so critical in deciding the outcomes of football games, especially when you start to get closer to the end zone. You drill it. You practice it. This offense needs to be...
Touchdown, Bama! Great job on the back on the option.
This defense is going to have to do a better job being physical. That's 2 rushing touchdowns they've now allowed. They have got to be better close to the line of scrimmage.
And he puts through the extra point. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And he's going to bring it out. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. A lot of work to do as this drive will start from the 16-yard line. He leaves it with his back. They shut it down quickly, but he gets 2 out to the 18.
It's definitely too early to panic, but there's some bad feelings going on for this offense right now. You're way down on the scoreboard. I know we're still in the first half, but after that last play, it's pretty obvious. You can't run the ball. You're becoming a one-dimensional offense at a time when you need to be able to score some points. So either get it done through the air or you've got to be more physical up front.
And not much doing there as that defense runs him out of bounds. What a day it's been on the ground for these 2 guys, and they just seem to get stronger as the game goes along as we take a look at the numbers. Just about ready to go in the fourth, and we'll see if any drama can be mustered. With the break, they had a little extra time to dial something up for this third down play. From the gun, wants to pass. He makes the grab. He's going to have enough to pick up the first down as they stop him at the 33-yard line.
Great job by the running back here on that third down catch. There was no wasted movement. As soon as he got the ball in his hands, he turned around and he got upfield. That's what you got to do. You got to be decisive on these third down type plays to move the sticks.
And the big fella couldn't elude the cornerback who makes a sure tackle. Guys, let's take a second here and talk Delaware. Unless there is a dramatic turn of events, this is not going to be a way to cool off that hot seat.
And they're going to have to be able to handle.
Breaks into the open. Sweet cut there. And they'll spot it at the 45. That's good enough for a first down.
Well, obviously the offense went 3 and out on their last drive. They're having a little bit more success here. That was a nice run, and I think that's the key, guys. If they're able to run the football, they're going to be able to stay on the field. And I think that's something you want to think more about if you're the play caller on offense.
These routes have some reads and adaptability built in, and the big fella found that cushion and made the play.
Man, it's so awesome how much offenses have evolved. They know exactly what they're getting, where to sit down, quarterback, tight end, on the same page, gets the first down.
Great team defense on that run play. Everybody doing their job. People winning their one-on-ones, D linemen staying in their gaps, linebackers and DBs filling. You just can't do it better.
Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down.
And finally the defense is able to get some pressure on this quarterback. They've been trying all game long different ways to affect him. Weren't able to get there, but on that play, because of the pressure, it affected his accuracy. That's why the ball falls in.
And it's going to be hard for this offense, man. They've struggled to pass the football down the field to make these explosive plays, and now huge deficit. Got to make them. Got to find a way to push the ball down the field to create some explosive plays if you want a chance to get back in this football.
Incomplete, and that'll be a turnover on downs.
I think that play right there has been a big theme in this game. When it matters the most, on big-time down and distances, this defense has been able to step up and make the play when they need it most. That fourth down, great job in the back end in coverage, forcing the incompletion with a big lead now, creating a turnover on downs.
Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. Power football with the run. Oh, he's got a chance. Good pick up there. They'll move the chains, and they're set up at the 41.
And the defense down in this game, they just can't do anything to stop this offense at this point, David. Right now, they know they're going to be trying to run the football and try and ice the game, but there's nothing at this point it seems they can do.
Yeah, and it's frustrating. I got to sell out, man. I got to bring as many guys to the line of scrimmage as I can. I got to find a way to get this ball back to my offense. The clock is not my friend, and then running the football is only going to run this thing out quicker. I got to find a way to make something happen, strip the football, do something.
They think they can impose their will here with the run to the right.
Great job by the defense. Everybody firing off the ball, hitting their guys, holding their gaps, running to the football, nowhere to go.
They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. They want to run it left here. Wrestled down at the 26. It's a gain of 4.
And I know you can play these late game situations differently, but I love when you just stay physical. You run the football, you preserve the lead, you got great field position, you're in a great position to salt this clock away and get a W.
They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
You know, defensively, you live by the blitz and you die by the blitz. That time, they dialed it up into the run play. The linebacker able to make a nice tackle.
And here comes the field goal unit. It's good. And now the lead is even bigger.
And they just tack on more points to this big lead. Listen, fourth quarter is sitting extremely pretty. All we got to do, not give up big plays, make them earn everything they get the rest this way, and we look pretty good.
Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. Guys, the Blue Hen offense going to work. That last drive was promising at times, but stalled out, and they turned it over on downs, Jesse.
I think they got to do a better job here, just being better early in the downs. On first down, finding positive plays.
Yeah, and it's frustrating when you move the football and get stopped on the other side of the field and get no points. But they've had some success, and I like the aggressiveness. They just got to cash some of these drives in.
And good coverage by the defense, just a short game.
This offense has their work cut out for them, man, because the coverage has been so tight. And if you're not throwing to the sideline or you're not getting past the sticks, this defense is going to tackle you inbounds like they just did on that last play and bleed the clock.
He was running through tackles and picked up the first down and finally got knocked down.
Well, it's a nice play design there. You're getting the running back involved in the pass game. Quarterback gives it to him early so he can go to work upfield and get the first down.
Looking down the middle. Just a hair too much on it from this big-arm sophomore quarterback.
The offense came into this game knowing that for them to win, they were going to have to make some big plays throwing the football. That just has not been the case. Here in the fourth quarter, they've been held to less than 200 passing yards, and that's really the story of the game, guys.
It's on target and complete. He was not going to be denied, discarding tacklers, running behind his pads, and finally down to the 40. The Blue Hens come to the ball trying to pick up this third and short. Gonna look downfield again. Just a short pass to the tight end. Absolutely nowhere to go as this defense makes a third down stop.
Man, that is not the third down execution you want. Trying to get it to a playmaker so he can make plays. He gets nowhere, actually loses yards, and brings up a fourth down now.
Trying to pick up the first out of the backfield. He's not going to make it, and what a big stop for this defense, and they might be able to put this thing away. They'll keep it on the ground. The clock is on their side. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
It's going to be tough sledding for the offense here. They're trying to ice this game by running the football and bleeding the clock. They've got a pretty good lead here late in the game, but the defense knows the run's coming, right? So they're going to be loading the line of scrimmage, getting stops like what they just did. It'll be interesting to see what the offense does on this next one.
Good little pickup there as he saw some daylight and got what he could. The Crimson Tide looking for a big play to convert on third down. They'll go to the ground. Makes a stop in the backfield. He'll lose 4.
And they got him down in a hurry. Nice job by the defense. Aggressive, attack, come downhill, go get the running back, get him on the ground.
They kick it away on fourth down. You'd think they would have had a good chance to down that one deep, but the bounce carries it into the end zone for the touchback. A lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. First play of the drive, wants to throw. How about this sophomore stopping him short of the first down line?
And this offense just hasn't found a way to kind of open it up. Like they haven't found those explosive plays. It feels like the defense is kind of strangling them and staying really close to the line of scrimmage because of their lack of their big play ability over the top. This offense has to dial something up.
Well, at this point, you're still trying to throw stuff up against the blackboard and see if it sticks. You're down by a lot of points, so why not try it, right? And give the offense credit. You know, you're not just going to run the football. You're not just going to take a knee and get into the locker room with your tail between your legs. I like the fighting spirit, just not enough of that today.
Well, and a nice job working the middle of the field. I think it's so important to keep defenses honest, and you can't just dink and dunk outside. You got to work the middle. Great job finding this wide receiver over the middle of the field.
Throws to the tight end. Just too much juice on that one as he airmails his receiver out of bounds.
At this point of the game in the fourth quarter, it is going to be tough for this offense to get some completions here because now, trailing by this much, the defense is expecting pass and they're putting a whole bunch of extra DBs on the field to help them out in coverage.
And it just squirted through his hands. He wanted to take off and got too anxious.
And I absolutely love what this defense is doing, man. You know exactly what time it is. You've got a big lead. They're going to have to throw the football. So more nickels, more dimes. Bring
looking for a deep man. And trying to put points on the board on third down. Now they're staring at fourth down.
You know, it's one thing to take shots early in the game when the defense may not be expecting it, but at this point, fourth quarter, you're trailing by a lot. They know you're going to do it, and the defense was expecting that one. Great job in the back end.
Finds the tight end. Oh, my goodness, he's still moving. He knew exactly where he wanted to go with that one, and they've got enough for the first down. And the Blue Hens come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Still firing away as they'll go down swinging. Oh, he makes the catch. And he's knocked down immediately, but a good pickup on that play. Timeout is called with just a single second left. And here we go. Final play of the game right here. They'll go to work in the air on second down. Here's the pressure. Blasted as he lets it go.